Doug Ford's PC government is apparently the worst possible option for the people of Ontario, other than all the other options on the table. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist for the Toronto Sun. Let's talk about this latest poll from Angus Reid because it's really interesting. It shows that the Ford government's handling various issues is not very popular. In fact, when you look at whether the government is doing a good job, a poor job, well, on issues like affordability, inflation, healthcare, 80% or more say that the Ford government is doing a very poor or poor job on those three main issues, which are very important to the electorate. And yet, when asked, well, how would you vote if election were held today? The numbers aren't good for the opposition. 40% say if an election were held today in Ontario, they say they would vote for Doug Ford and the PC party. 25% say they would vote for Merritt Stiles and the New Democrats. And 23% say they would vote for Bonnie Crombie and the Liberals. Now, here's why this is interesting. 80% say they don't think they're, or more on various issues, say they don't think the government's doing a very good job. And yet, when they look at the options before them, they say, well, we'd still rather choose Doug Ford than Merritt Stiles or Bonnie Crombie. That is a damning indictment of their performance so far. In fact, most voters don't really have the ability to say whether they think Stiles or Crombie are doing a good job or they're very negative on them. They're not positive on the two options other than Ford that sit before them. Now, this is particularly disturbing for Bonnie Crombie and the Liberals. Look, Doug Ford and his PC party have spent a lot of money running attack ads on Crombie, trying to say that she's the carbon tax queen, all of these things. But Crombie also came in promising great hope for the Liberals. She was going to be their savior. She was going to raise tons of money. She would turn things around. In reality, so far, year to date, the Ontario Liberals are behind the NDP when it comes to fundraising numbers that we can verify with Elections Ontario. Now, it's not far behind the NDP, but they're still behind the NDP. And now in this poll, they're behind the NDP. Back in March, the Ontario Liberals were at 27%. Now they've dropped to 23%, while Ford's PCs have gone from 37 to 40% support, and Stiles and the NDP have remained flat at 25. Don't tell me that you're going to take on the government, that you're going to be able to overcome the Ford government when you are falling in the polls. That is simply not the case. Every government, including the Ford government, needs a strong opposition. And Doug Ford has not had a strong opposition since he became premier in 2018. His first year was awful. It was a debacle. The NDP was official opposition at that time. They should have taken advantage of that. They didn't. He has weaknesses now that could be taken advantage of, but neither the NDP or the Liberals are able to do that. And so Ford is running at this point, looking like he's going to cruise easily to a third majority. That's part of why they're looking at going early in the spring or summer of 2025, because the opposition is just so weak. Until and unless that changes, nothing's going to change in Ontario politics. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below, share this on social media, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.